Now, Adam, you were a baseball player. How are those numbers looking to you?
Well, I want to mention, too, I went to Platte Valley High School, which is supposed to be Eden's rival, but every year they smacked us. So that's unfortunate, but good for Gunner, and we'll see what he does in the future. But my athlete of the week is Brooke Carlson, sophomore from CSU women's basketball. Set a career high in the March Madness tournament, her first March Madness appearance, and set a career high 26 points on 3 assists, 6 rebounds, 8 of 17 from the field, along with 3 three-pointers. Clutch play from her really shows what she can do for this team in years upcoming. All I can say is please don't transfer.
Hey, I mean,
10-8 Aztecs. DeBeck gets the set back to Richards and sends it down for the kill.
Why not look to your 6'7" middle blocker, putting it down. Big time play. Colorado State really needed that there. And now they really need to put together a couple of runs here.
Well, here's the first serve for Maria Brune, the only returning starter for the Rams. Serve is good. First pass goes back to the Rams side. DeBeck setup. Jamison, swing, kill!
Hallie Jamison from the reception, back to DeBeck, back to Hallie Jamison. What a big-time play from the freshman, continuing her momentum from the regular season and continuing to show out for head coach Emily Cohen here for the Rams.
Jamison just loaded up that cut shot. Brune down the line for the serve. Gonzalez dives in on the set. Korf the swing, blocked by Keikua Richards. Korf was about 5 feet back from the net. Richards, no doubt on that one. 11-10 lead for the Rams.
And there's that big passionate block of Keikua Richards continuing the run for CSU. They really need to lean on their blocking capabilities here today.
Here's Brune again. Goes to the middle. Gonzalez sets across. Korf attacking, gets it off the hands of Richards and out of play on the back row. Nobody there in time. Tied at 11 here in set 1.
San Diego State able to get it off the hands of Keikua Richards and that block. They really are going to have to lean on getting hands-on if they really want to get it past one of the best blocking teams in the country.
Kendall Mayers back to serve for the Aztecs. High arcing pass. Brune gets the pass. DeBeck. Dabina blocked. Madison Korf met Dabina one-on-one. Sent it back to the Rams. Lead by 12-11 in set 1.
Both teams now going back and forth, sharing side out after side out. This is a very competitive first set of semifinal volleyball here in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Mayers floats it. Brune the pass. Doty bump set to the front row. Jamison times up the swing. Curves it down. Sends it into the net off the Aztecs. Back to the Rams somehow. DeBeck setting. Richards attacking. Almost whiffed it, but it's good for the kill. Somehow falls down. I think the blockers were expecting a much harder shot.
Keikua Richards with an awkward angle, but nonetheless gets it to go down. That's a big-time side out for the Rams here.
Tied at 12. Doty serves right over the net. Mayers sets to the middle, and the attack from Hague is down for a kill. 13-12, Aztecs up.
This is a very fast-paced set 1. Both teams going at each other. Be interesting to see how each team adjusts going into set 2, but we still got a lot of volleyball.
Sends a line down. Jamison the pass to Beck. Back to Jamison. Crashes the net. Covered out by the Rams. Jamison attacking again off the blockers. Korf in the back row, the dig. Mayers sets up. Chabort puts it down. Wow, just tipped it right to the open spot on the front of the net. Jamison tried to pancake, too late. 14-12 Aztecs.
Aztecs right now are doing a really good job of staggering the green and gold block. Colorado State unable to put 2 hands on in the last few sequences, and San Diego State is leading on it here early.
Korf the serve. Brune the pass. DeBeck looks across. Wilson quick. Blocked, out of play. Rams get the point. Eve Wilson lucky on that one. It didn't fall down.
Colorado State really has to continue to swing hard. And if not getting it past the blockers, hopefully get a positive deflection like they did there. And now here comes kind of a silent assassin in Carson Fetzer.
Fetzer puts it down. Korf the pass. Mayers back set attacking Underwood. And good for the kill. Carson Fetzer wanted a dig. dove in head first. And now we've got a media timeout as SDSU up 15-13 in set one in the Cox Pavilion here. The semifinal matchup in the Mountain West Tournament, battling for a chance tomorrow to take on the Utah State Aggies, who defeated Boise State. When we come back, we'll have more action from set one here in Vegas. I'm Adam Gross alongside John Vu. Lucas Williams producing in studio. This is Colorado State Volleyball on 90.5 KCSU Fort Collins. You're with Keikua Richards,
Yes.
the game-winning kill. You did it.
Yes, I did.
You did it. What a night here tonight, coming back after the road trip. How do you feel getting that kill?
It was super awesome. We actually manifested that kill, which was super cool. Right before she served that ball, I told Aaron, I said, if we get a free ball over, set me a 6. And I'll say, yeah, and that's what that means. And so when that happened, like, you could literally see my face. I look at Aaron, and I'm like, Aaron, yes. And then she sent me that perfect ball, so it was super awesome.
Gosh, was everything just in sync tonight? It seems like you guys just had, like you said, kind of unspoken communication. Everything fell in line here.
Yeah, it was super awesome, especially that first set. I feel like we came out banging. I feel like for the middle 2 sets, we're trying to work on some things, and I feel like even though for that third set we lost, we still learned a lot of things, especially for tomorrow for the whiteout game. So I think this whole game was pretty successful.
I don't know if you can tell me exactly what you're working on, but if you would care to share that, I'd love to hear.
I think it's just playing as a team and just trying to be able to just get up and swing, and not be scared and just be brave.
Well, I can't interview everyone tonight, but how about DeBeck? Jumping it off 4 times tonight? That's like very Emery Herman-esque, if you remember those days.
Yes, we've been working for her. She's been working on that really, really hard, and all of us are super proud of her and how she's come out of her shell since she was a freshman. And she's been banging. She's been super aggressive, and so it's super awesome seeing her out like that.
How long has she been working on that in practice? Because I haven't seen it in games before. It just came out tonight out of nowhere.
I mean, she's always been working on it, but we're starting to realize that a lot of teams are starting to realize how physical our hitters are in our presence, and so she kind of realizes that she has some options for herself too.
Looking to tomorrow, Notre Dame, the whiteout. First time your family is coming here. You expressed your excitement. We ran your interview in the pregame.
Yeah.
Just tell us again, how excited are you to have your family here?
I'm so excited. They're right over there with all my babies. So
they came tonight too?
No, yeah, they're right on that top right over there.
Well, get out of here. Go see them.
Yeah, so I'm super excited.
Thank you, Keikua.
Of course.
Congrats.
Thank you.
CSU men's track and field took home gold and glory at the Mountain West Indoor Championships. The 27-time champion Rams secured 9 medals for the men's this weekend, totaling a 138-point victory. Notable podium finishes for the Rams included Ende Shukurani claiming gold in high jump with a mark of 7 foot 1 inch, followed by his teammate Jesse Amemba for silver. The freshman Owen Langdon secured his first championship victory in the 60-meter hurdles with a time of 7.81 seconds, and he's already second all-time as a Ram. For head coach Brian Bedard and his squad of men's throwers, redshirt junior Kyle Bigley earned bronze for his first shot put conference medal. His monster throw of 61 feet, 3.5 inches puts him 4th all-time at CSU. But the star of the Mountain West Indoor Track and Field Championships was not from the men's team. It was Michaela Long, senior thrower, who exploded in the circles, securing women's shot put gold. The 58.5-inch throw placed her 9th in the nation, securing her spot in Fayetteville, Arkansas for the NCAA Division I Indoor Track and Field Championship. And she'll compete alongside her throwing teammate Kaisa Borman as Borman looks to go big in the weight throw. The national championship begins Friday, March 13th.
And so now you're like left with Kyle Jorgensen, and he's on the fence. He'll be probably the last person. He'll be like Owen Long on the football team. Everyone else made their move. They transferred out. They stayed. Whatever they decided, and we all waited for the best player in the country to make their decision. And, of course, he went to ASU. But we're dealing with a guy that on this men's basketball team that has 11 points a game, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Honestly, numbers that we probably expected to be higher.
Yeah.
And so
it looked like it was going to be higher at the beginning of the season, the way he played.
If he's looking outside of CSU, whoever's recruiting him needs to have a lot of faith that his ceiling is higher than that. And he was hurt for a whole month, so you didn't get to see him for the bulk of the midway through the season. He played the beginning really strong, disappeared, came back, played the back half of the season. Completely changed his game, too.
Like
Yeah.
he was a bucket getter inside, got hurt his knee, and then I think most of his shots came from outside the arc for the back half of the season. And
That's what I saw.
he shot 40%, so 41%, and can't say he didn't do good because he did, but we all thought Jorgensen, I think, would perform even better, right?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he was a good stretch forward for some time, but what really impressed me in those non-conference games when we were, what was our start? Was it 8-0, 7-0? Before they lost to DU at the last second? Whatever. So they had a really good couple game win streak against all those non-conference teams. I thought he was the guy, and I knew I probably should have been a little more tentative when it comes to, games against Incarnate Word and Cal Poly and all that. But he looked like the guy. He was getting buckets at will inside. And as you mentioned, the injury, we don't know the extent of what it was. We don't know the exact diagnosis. We don't know what changed in it. But he wasn't as aggressive. I feel like most people that watched would agree with that sentiment. He wasn't as aggressive when he came back from the injury, whether that was a mental thing, an actual physical thing, the knee injury didn't heal, or maybe he just had a change in mindset. I'm not sure, but I agree, Adam. It was definitely different.
Well, I want to compare him to someone who was here before with Nico Medved. We talked about this before the show. A good comparison of someone who has a higher ceiling and performed well at a bigger stage. Something that Jorgensen could do if somebody invests in him. Jalen Crocker-Johnson, another 6'8", 6'9" power forward, another big guy. Not quite the same game as Jorgensen as far as a three-point barrage goes, but could still pull up and shoot.
He could shoot that thing.
Absolutely. Last year he shot 35% from three, and he averaged 9 points. This season, 13.4 points per game with Minnesota in a Big Ten conference.
And 7 rebounds.
Yeah.
He was a beast.
The same thing could happen for Kyle.
I think Kyle's probably has that in the back of his head a little
honestly.
bit. They're the same position, similar archetype.
And now as we get further and further down the NIL rabbit hole with more incentive to leave, it can only linger in his brain longer, which is why we think he is probably going to be the last one to hold out on any decision. He was the last one last season. He waited to the very end to make his choice.
On those I'm back posts.
And he said, I'm back.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, yay! And now we don't know.
Yeah.
So let's take a quick break. We'll come back, talk some more about men's basketball and what they'll do, who they'll be, where they'll be, Pac-12 ball next season. It should be a good time.
Interesting week coming up.
It's Adam Gross, Devin Imserpasic. You're listening to Ramblers on 90.5 KCSU Fort Collins.
And with March upon us, a Ram legend with postseason experience returned to Moby Arena.
Jalen Lake, former CSU men's basketball shooting guard, Mountain West champion, and 3-time NCAA tournament player, the most of any Ram. Lake returned to Fort Collins for the first time since beginning his professional hoops career in Denmark.
I built so many relationships of being here for 4 years, of people that I can come back and see their faces, kids that I've seen coming into camp and growing up now in high school and things like that. That's cool and that's really special.
So I dropped him off and moved him into Denmark in August. So it's been 6 months. And so, met at the airport and, missed him a lot.
Lake is playing for the Svendborg Rabbits in Denmark out of the Basket Liga, literally the basketball league. He said the hardest part of playing overseas is learning the Danish language.
Danish is a tough language. It's a really tough language. They talk really fast, and I just know a little bit of basics, but I can't understand anything still at this point.
But his girlfriend says he's doing just fine.
I've been with him, yes. We've been living in Denmark, and he's been killing it. He's in his element.
When they say bye, they say hi. And so that's one I've learned. So whenever I'm leaving or somebody says hi, and I'm kind of thrown off a little bit. That's kind of funny.
While Jalen chases his lifelong dream of professional hoops, his mom does her best to support him.
Just being a mom, it's a tough job, just like the nervousness for them, just wanting them to do their best. And he's kept God first. His faith has been strong throughout his journey, and just the hard work to see that and help, where he is today, just super proud.
I feel like I've grown not only just as a basketball player, but just as a person in these 4 years here.
He carries himself so well. He came in a little timid, shy, and I feel like these 4 years have took him out of his shell more than any other situation in his life has.
Just to be able to be a part of so many great teams and play in March Madness, it's a dream come true to be able to do that. And so I'm really proud.
In February, Blake averaged 22 points, 4.8 rebounds, 3.3 assists on 54% from the field. Jalen's success is the product of his time here at CSU.